Okay, so today we're talking all about making big lifestyle pivots. And the problem that I see so many people having, and really the true challenge, the first step is simply making the decision. So actually committing to making a decision and moving forward with that. So, hey, everyone on Instagram, I'm just going to be sharing a brief highlight for you because I know you didn't sign up for the masterclass. So you'll have an idea of what this looks like. And then if you want more of this, just drop the word pivot below, PIVOT, and I will send the replay to your inbox so that you can get the rest of this. But for those of you here in the masterclass, in the training, today we're going to dive deep into solving the problem, or at least beginning to solve the problem of staying stuck in what I'm going to call the perfect plan mode. So some of you may have heard me talking about this earlier this week, the past few days, saying that making decisions and just like going for it without a plan is kind of my superpower. And I realize that not everyone is that way. And that's perfect and wonderful. And it's nothing to be mad about or sad about or ashamed of, because we each have our own unique characteristics, personality traits, strengths, challenges. And what I'm here to do is share my superpower with you and to share that essence and share that vibration and some ways that you can start to get unstuck, get out of the quicksand, okay? And to finally make a decision one way or another. So moving away from the need to have a perfect plan and letting the plan fall in your lap. So today I'm going to walk you through the process of how to define that, where you are in your perfect plan process, so that you can actually move your energy towards the spaces where the energy is actually stuck. Because if you're like, most of the people I'm talking to, you've made some movements in certain aspects of your big lifestyle shift, but there's certain areas that you're still really stuck in. Maybe the money's holding you back, or, the comfortable 9 to 5 job, or, the family and friends and support system all around you in a physical location. So maybe like you have some ideas in your head of what that pivot is for you and how you want to move forward and make it, but there's some other areas that you're stuck in. And so today we're going to clearly identify the ways in which you can harness your energy to get unstuck. Because at the end of the day, this is all about energy and frequency, okay? And the reason why this is so hard for you is because the mind is trying to control the process. The mind is getting in the way, and it's only seeing 5% of what's available to you, because it's taking evidence from past scenarios and applying that here and now. And it wants to keep you safe. The mind is wonderful, and it also is really limiting when we allow it to be. So this is partly going to be about training your mind, right? Like reprogramming your mind so that you can actually make those pivots, make those lifestyle shifts, and simply make a decision one way or another. Because whatever you choose is perfect. It's exactly where you're meant to be. But you have to make a decision. Otherwise, you will stay stuck in the quicksand for a very long time and be angry, frustrated, depressed, feel like you're held back, feel like your circumstances are controlling you, which none of that needs to be a long-term scenario for you. So we can move beyond that space, beyond all of those emotions they're not bad, they're wonderful, but let's learn from them. Let's understand what's going on and staying stuck instead of staying stuck in them. Okay. So Instagram, I'm going to say goodbye to you for now. If you want to go through the process of clearly understanding and deciding, then comment below pivot and I will send you the replay. And then everyone on the masterclass, give me 1 sec and then we're going to continue here. Just got to let it post, and then you guys got to remind me to close my Instagram here. Okay, so again, clearly identifying your problem, okay? Because your unique problem is what's holding you back. So everyone has a different experience, a different setback, something unique to you. And so what I want to do today, before we go into the work, before we go into the process, let's take a minute to just tune in, okay? So I'm going to invite you, as I close down my Instagram, to close your eyes and to simply come into a comfortable position, whether you're seated or laying down, just really tapping into this presence, the here and now. And taking some big, deep breaths in through the nose and sighing out if that feels good. And just coming into this present space here and now. Allowing yourself to be fully here, fully present. Just focusing your energy, your attention on my voice, and bringing your vision to that space between your eyebrows. And just hearing my voice. I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1. And now, as you're in this deep space of relaxation, of presence, connecting to your higher self here and now, that voice within you that guides you, that speaks to you, and just tuning into that space and asking your higher self, what do I need to do now? And allowing whatever came up for you, not questioning it, not changing it, not letting the mind come in, just trusting in your higher self. And if nothing came through, that's okay too. And breathing deeply in this relaxed state. Tuning in now to your intention in being here. What is your intention in being here? And just tuning into that. And breathing into your intention. Taking big, deep breaths, coming back into your body. Keeping your intention for the rest of our time together today. And gently coming back into the space in front of you, opening your eyes. Beautiful. So holding this reverence, holding this presence, holding this space, and holding your intention for our time together today will be so deeply supportive to you in this process of clear decision making and making your bold life move, okay? So you're going to see my eyes on my notes, okay? Because if you guys know me, which most of you do, you know that I could go on for hours and hours on these subjects. And so I want to really honor your time. I want to honor my energetic space. And so I'm going to be referring to notes, which is somewhat new for me, but this will help us stay on track and follow the process and be crystal clear. Okay, sound good? So I apologize if my eyes aren't directly with you, but know that my presence, my heart, and my high self are with you, beaming you and tuned into you, okay? So the biggest flex in your life right now is going to be making that clear decision. And you guys might be like, yes, Marcy, we know, you've said this a million times now, but I want to be really clear about what's happening when you're in that space of indecision. You have multiple sides of you tethering you, and it's like you're being pulled in a million different directions. And can you just imagine how muddy and how like foggy that is? I know you can, because you can feel it within your being. Every one of you who I'm speaking to feel this chaos of indecision, right? And so the biggest flex that you can make for yourself is making a decision one way or another, and then being committed to that decision that you have so clearly made and allowing the plan to roll out for you. You see, most of you are doing this backwards. Yeah. You're looking for that perfect plan. You're putting all of those perfect steps right into place. And then you'll take the action. And then you'll make the decision. And then you'll make the move. But guess what? When you move that way, you move slow. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen for you, but you are going to experience a lot more resistance along the way of waiting for the perfect plan, because it does not exist. Okay, let me say that again. You are going to experience a lot more resistance making your perfect plan, because it does not exist. Okay, and when you face resistance, when you face challenges looking for that perfect plan, that perfect path, what do? You go back. You go back into comfort, you go back into safety, and then you're further and further away from the thing that it is you actually want. Boom. Okay. Like, is that landing for you? Are you guys like feeling that? Holy smokes. When you decide and clearly commit first and say, this is what I'm going to do, because this is the whisper from my high self. That first thing that we tapped into, what is my high self wanting me to do? So if that's moving away from your 9 to 5, commit, it's going to happen. Okay. And in my work, I share about timelines. I'm not going to talk about that today, but commit, make the decision. I'm not going to work in my 9 to 5 by this time next year. By this time next year, I will be working, living my dream life, away from my 9 to 5. I will have created my business that, flows around and into my life, not the other way around. Or I am deciding today that I am making the move with my family. I am deciding, I am committed that by this time next year, I will no longer be in the current environment that I am in, and I will be living, wherever you want to live, whatever that looks like for you. Okay. Making that clear decision signals your energy literally to the universe, and you have to be aligned. You have to be real with yourself in your commitment. You have to be so steadfast in your commitment to your desire for something new that you will not fall back into the old ways. Okay. And when you signal that to the universe, you are showing up and you are saying, yes, I am ready, God. I am ready, universe. Please show up and support me. God, show me how good life can get for me. I've been saying that a lot lately. God, show me how good life can be for me. Show me just how good this can get. When I clearly decide and then I surrender and let it happen for me, then everything falls into place for me, not the other way around. So today we're going to walk through a process of clearly understanding where you're at in your decision-making process, okay? Because I want to help you free up that tether, free up that energy where you're stuck in the quicksand of indecision. And sometimes that can be really hard because the energy is pulling you in so many different ways. There's so many different options, right? There's so many different ways that you could move and go. Well, today is going to be very intentional in helping you clearly identify where to harness your energy specifically so that you can get unstuck. So I'm not, making you super uncomfortable and go into Marcy land where it's like, just forget the plan. Okay. This is going to help you. This is going to help your nervous system and your brain just to start to let go a little bit. Okay. It's going to feel really good. It's going to be fun and it's going to be simple. This is very practical. And so what we're going to do, okay, is move through this clear process. All right. So I'm going to guide you through some questions. So now would be a good time to grab a paper and pen and tap into your desire. Okay. We've got to know what it is that you want. So you might want lots of things. I sure do. But let's focus today on one, and then you can go back and use this process. This is a gift to you. You can use this process with all of your desires, okay? All of your big life shifts you want to make. So today, let's harness in on one, right? One clear desire, one clear lifestyle shift, one clear pivot that you are wanting to make. And so question number one is going to be really helpful for you. Okay, so we're going to do a scale of 0 to 10. I will tell you what the scale is and how to clearly identify where you're at on the scale after question one. Okay, so number one, why are you even here? Like, what do you even want? Okay, have you clearly identified what your life pivot is? Do you know in the deepest crevice of your heart and your soul what it is that you desire, what it is you're seeking? And if you tell me I want to move abroad, why? Right? We're going to get deep here. It's simple, but it's going to be deep, because the thing that you want, the hobby farm or the life abroad or escaping the 9 to 5 and the rat race, the thing that you want, there's a reason why you want that. There's an underlying need that hasn't been met, and that's why you want it. And that's why your soul is saying, follow the thing, please just do this, because it's going to give you what you need. Okay, so I would call on you right now. If I called you out right now and said to you, okay, what is it that you want and why? 10 is like, you would be able to like say it right here, right now. No stuttering, nothing. Like you could clearly identify what you want and why you want it. That's a 10, okay? A 5 is like, yeah, I kind of know, like, me and my family, we've had discussions about this, and I kind of know what it might be. It might look like this, but it also could like be this, okay? So you've got some ideas. There's some stuff brewing at a 5. And then a 0 is like, what? What am I doing here? Like, why am I even here? I have no idea what I want to do in my life or like what I really want, okay? And everything is welcome and wonderful and beautiful. So this is going to take some honesty with yourself too, about where you're really at. Okay. So mark that down. Okay. So number 2, you've begun clearly making the necessary space. Okay. So physically, emotionally within your body, mentally within your mind, and financially to take the next step, to take the leap, make the big move. Yeah. 0 is like, not at all. 10 is like, we're fully dialed in. The house has been cleared out. The stables are empty. I've got my savings account dialed in. I've, liquidated my assets. I've gotten rid of what's no longer necessary. Like I've got, the storage units, figured out. That's like a 10. Okay. Or like that's like a 7, 8. Okay. 10 is like you've already done it. Like, so why are you here? Yeah. Okay. So that's number 2. I'll give you a minute there. Number 3. I'm going to speak to this in 2 different ways. Okay. So let's start with the first one. So let's say you want to make a lifestyle shift where you're moving physically from an environment that doesn't serve you, because that's a lot of you that I'm speaking with. You want an acreage, you want to like get away from the city, you want to move away from the rat race. Maybe you want to move somewhere really sunny and warm where you can be outside more, soak in the sunshine and the vitamin D. Maybe you want to kind of like do the nomad life, digital nomad, and like travel, different places. A 10 here would be like, you clearly know like where your first stop is. Okay. Like where you want to move. And like you have a location nailed down. Like maybe you even have your first Airbnb booked or a rental or whatever it is. Like that would be like a 9-10. Okay. A 5 is like, yeah, I have some ideas of like what would work. We've kind of looked here. I kind of love here, but I also could go here. That's like a 4-5. And then a 0 is like, I haven't even started looking because I'm just so nervous. Like, what would life be like there? I don't know. Like, perfect plan, Polly. Okay, that's like a 0. Okay, now the other one that I can bring into this space to consider is like someone or some of you who are wanting to like ditch the 9 to 5, ditch the day job, right? It's served you thus far, like that's great, but you want more, like and you feel within you like this just isn't it anymore. I've been there, I get it, I know how that feels. But maybe you're just like you don't know what the next thing is. You're like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to stay stuck in comfy land here in my 9 to 5 that's sucking the soul from me every day. Yeah. Okay. So 10 would be like, you know what? I know that this isn't for me and I'm going to take the leap and I'm going to let that perfect job, that perfect, next step fall into place for me. 0 would be like, it's too much. It's too scary. Like I can't make the move. Like what will I do for money? How will I support myself? I just really don't know if this is like for me. Okay. Does that help? Awesome. I'm gonna take a sip of my yummy water. Okay. Number 4. Okay. For your big lifestyle shift. You've made arrangements and plans that support the overarching goal, the overarching plot twist or life pivot, okay, that you clearly defined in step 1. So hint, spoiler alert, if you weren't able to clearly define 1, you're probably not going to be able to clearly define this one either. Let's say you've got kids, and you're looking into school options. You've kind of nailed down what you're going to do to support your children in their next step, or maybe you have pets, that too, right? And you already know like what the travel requirements are with pets, like that kind of stuff. Yeah. So you have a clear idea of the arrangements necessary to support your overarching goal. 0, nada. 10, I got this. 5 is like, yeah, started kind of lining some things up. We've talked to some people, made some plans. 9 to 5 people who want to escape that. Maybe you've looked into some other areas, like maybe you've started a hobby business that you're hoping can replace your income next year. Yeah, that could be like a 5-6. 10 is like you've nailed it. For 9 to 5ers, like you've left the job that's soul sucking and you're already like moving forward with what's next. Okay. So I'm going to let you guys just like sit with that for a minute. Okay. And what we're going to do is look at your score. So go back and tally up your scores for the questions 1 through 4. Okay. Pretty simple. I'll give you a minute just to go add those up. Okay. So now that you have your score, if you have less than 20, okay, you're in that space of resistance. Like, it ain't happening anytime soon. That big life pivot that you so want to make, that you so desire, you're stuck. You're in the quicksand, babe. Yeah, someone needs to throw you a lifeline. Here I am. Okay, you're staying stuck right where you are if you're under 20. Yeah? And it's time to get really crystal clear with your core values and with your soul alignment and what it is you actually desire. Like, you have to want that more, okay, than staying comfortable in the quicksand and allowing yourself to just kind of like tread there, just be there in the safety. So you have to want that thing. And you have to first, in order to like want it, you need to know what that is. You have to identify the core part, not just the thing, not just the move abroad or, you know, the hobby farm or the location independent business, the online business. You have to know what it is underneath that you're seeking. And for most of you, that's freedom. That's space. That's the ability to live your life how you want to live it, not tied to a location, not tied to a job, not tied to finances, not tied to someday when. Does that feel true for you? Yeah? I get it. That's why I'm here, living my dream life in Mexico. Okay? So get crystal clear on your core values, what it is that you really want, what it is that you're seeking, and then be ready to commit to that more than you want to be in that space of comfort and knowing. Okay? Because the mind wants to know. The mind wants to have the perfect poly plan. So if you've scored a 20 to 25, you're making progress. Good for you. Amazing. Okay? You've got some viable options, but you still probably have too much muddiness. There's probably too many options. You're on the way, but you likely need some support in nailing down and getting crystal clear so that you can make the decision, so that you can get unstuck, move out of the quicksand. Yeah? So that would look like identifying what's actually your mind speaking and what's your soul calling. This would look like allowing yourself to move away from the perfect plan and free up the space. Like, all of that resistance takes a lot of energy from you when you're trying to follow the perfect plan. It takes a lot of energy. And so when you allow yourself that spaciousness, all of that energy that goes into the perfect plan, when you free up that energy, that can actually go into your clarity, into your soul alignment. And then you can make that snap decision and go for it. Just do the damn thing already. Yeah? Collapse that time, make it happen. Let the universe show up for you and give you the steps. Yeah? So that's like a 20 to 25. Is you're still like in that dreaming stage, which is beautiful and wonderful because that's giving you the guidance to know kind of what to follow. But a dream, I hate this quote, but it's like, it's true. A dream, it's actually not even, I don't know, you guys know the quote I'm talking about. A dream without action is just whatever. Yeah, you guys get me? Okay, so if you're at a 25 to a 30, you're golden. Like, see you in your next best life. Okay, can't wait to follow you on Instagram and see all your pics in your best life and all your offers you're selling and all the things you're doing with your family and your pets. Can't wait to see you in your life pivot. Gonna cheer you on, honor you, lift you up. Yes, that's a 25 to 30. Okay, amazing. So I want to hear from you guys. How is this? Like, how has this? So let me back up a second here. I'm getting ahead of myself, as I do. So this is actually, these 4 questions help you to hone your energy in. So go and look at your lower scores. Go and look at your like 6s and unders or 7 and unders. that's going to show you where you need to focus your energy. And if it's all of them, amazing. We've got work to do, babe. We got this. Okay. I got you. So, and then if you're like, look at, if you've got like 9, 8, 9, 10s, like release that energy into the spaces where you can like harness it. Okay. Focus on those 0s through 7s. And so this is going to help you clearly identify where you're more stuck in the muddiness and where you can kind of take that energy and then put it directly into one space. Okay. So I want to open this last, 15 minutes or so, maybe 10, into some questions that I've received from you guys. Okay. So I'm going to address those questions that you guys gave me here, or like the spaces where you're at. And let's just dive into those. Like, let's get some real world examples of what this looks like and how you can make that bold move. Okay. So I'm not going to name names, but you guys know who you are. And also, this is why when you guys give like questions and just like resonance and things like that, this is so helpful, because your ability to open up and be vulnerable and share this is going to help other people, other families, other women, other men who are here and listening to this and who receive these bits of information. So thank you for asking these or for sharing these. You are being part of the vibration of expansion and of movement. Okay, so thank you. So I feel very stuck in the quicksand, mostly because I don't have a clear vision of what I'm pivoting towards. Yeah, tied to the work and the money. Okay. So how many of you can relate to this? Like, you're stuck, but mostly because that fogginess that I talked about, right? Like the unclear vision, like you don't know where you want to go. You're a 0 on that first question. You're like, I don't know. I don't have any vision. I don't know what I'm pivoting towards. Okay. So this is perfect plan, Polly. Okay. So if you're stuck in the quicksand because you're looking for the next thing, like you're looking for that perfect answer, remember where you're going to be. You're going to stay stuck in that resistance. And then you're going to be, a year, 5 years down the road saying, gosh, what if I would have just gone for it? What if I would have just done the thing? What if I would have just listened to Marcy and trusted that if I make a move, I'll be okay. I'll be safe. You've made it this far. You're alive and you're safe. You're here. You have a computer or a phone to show up with. You're going to be okay. All right. You're not in the Gaza Strip right now. Let's get real. Okay. Yeah. I'm calling you out like that. Okay. So if you're stuck in the quicksand because you're looking for the clear vision, a couple of things you can do. And especially because you said that you're tied to the work and the money, like that's holding you back because you're not sure like how you're going to support yourself or what that financially is going to look like for you. Here's a couple things that will help you to start moving forward. And for those of you who are like feeling this, because I know this is not just this one person, this is all of us, because of the money programs and the fear conditioning that keep us stuck in the safety of like the 9 to 5 or the safe career, or, even if you built a business. This was me. Like, I built a business that really supported me financially for a very long time. And those roles that I was clinging to and like forcing every month, like that was so uncomfortable for me holding on to that. But I was stuck thinking like, this is it. Like, at least like I have the dream life that I thought I always wanted. But every day was like literally so exhausting for me because I was clinging to that role. I was clinging to that idea and that thing because I'd worked so hard for it that I didn't want to let it go. And I didn't know what was next. So what we need to do here, one of the first things you can do is start to recondition and reprogram your money. Okay, your money programs. And this goes beyond money mindset. I go deep into this in my quantum money mindset workbook that I've put out. That's like, it's very intensive, but I will share, if you want to reach out to me directly, if this like aligns with you, if you like you're feeling this, I will share with you part of that. It's a quantum money meditation, and just going into that quantum space of the infinite and the visualization helps you to kind of create and clear space to allow other options. Yeah. So if that feels good for you to get unstuck and to kind of go beyond the money and the fear programming, you can drop me a personal message and I will send that directly to you. Okay. So that's one way that you can really start moving beyond this, because the money is holding you back. The safety and security of the current space is holding you back, because the mind is giving you evidence of the 5% that this is safe, it's good enough, it's fine, like just stay here because it's comfortable. Well, when you stay stuck in that place, you're literally keeping yourself from the other 95% of what's possible for you. And that's where your dreams are living. That's where your soul is. It's in that other 95%. But you're holding yourself back in that 5% because it's safe and it's comfortable and it's what you know. And your brain is giving you evidence for that. And it's giving you evidence why you can't tap into that 95. Well, I'm here to help you tap into the full 100. Okay. And so we've got to let go of the need to have the perfect poly plan. Because here's what's going to happen. When you decide to take that leap and just go for it, it's wild what happens. Like, so many of my clients and friends and family who I share this work with have said this to me, like, holy smokes, I decided, and then like literally a week later, this showed up for me, or this happened. Let me share an example of this. And I think this woman will be listening. So I just want to share this because it's so amazing. This was a client of mine in my breakthrough program last year. And she had an idea in her mind that she needed $500,000, $500,000 in her bank account in order to make any moves forward. Okay. So she was stuck, like saving and pinching pennies, working at her 9 to 5 and, doing businesses with her family and side hustles and all of these things, holding on to all of these things because she needed $500,000 in her mind in order to take the next step in her dream life, which is building this beautiful, like farmhouse on their land. Okay. Here's what happened when we started working together. When she started making those inside pivots, okay, those inside decisions, guess what happened? I don't remember how long it was because this was from last year, but literally I would say like weeks later, there were new home plans all of a sudden available that fit within her budget. And it wasn't 500,000. And those home plans did not exist before. Like she said to me, Marcy, I'm telling you, we work with this builder. Like, we've looked at all of the plans and all of them were outside of the scope of what we could do within our budget. And literally after working with you and doing this work, these new plans just like appeared. And so her plans came through for her, like the physical, plans for her home, her dream home. Like, this is what happens when you start to make these pivots. The universe says, okay, I got you. You're showing up for you. I'm going to show up for you. Okay. So this is what that work looks like. Okay. So when you make that leap and say, okay, God, I'm here for it, support me, but you actually have to take the leap. You got to free that space, make the decision, and then start taking those actions. Yeah. That's when it's going to start showing up for you. That's when the plan starts falling into place, not the other way around. Okay. So here's another one. Let me read it. Okay, so this kind of is similar to that one, so I won't go super into detail, but I do feel a little uneasy about where I'm at and what I'm doing, and I'm not really called to it, so I'm just stuck. I'm just like feeling stuck. And similarly to the first person, like, this is the space of the comfort zone. Like, I'm just stuck where I'm at. It's fine. Like, it's not great. I definitely don't feel like inspired every day. This is the place of the quicksand. And you've heard it, so I'm not going to go down this again, but you've got to make a move. Okay. And I'm not suggesting that you like quit your 9 to 5. No, that's not at all what I'm suggesting. Like, there's nothing wrong with sticking in your 9 to 5 or keeping your side hobby business that, pays your bills while you're working for something else. It's an internal decision that you make. It's not always an external thing that you're going to do, but it's about who you're being on the inside. Because what that's doing is actually shifting your frequency, which is what you are. You're a frequency, literally. You're an energy, manifested down into physical form. I think it's wild. Like, you're something actually only like 2% physical matter. The rest is all energy. Crazy, right? So, oh man, just lost my train of thought with that tangent. So what you're doing with your frequency, okay, is you're dialing in. You're sending out that message to a receiver of like, okay, this is what I want. More of this, please. So you can stay in the space that you are while working for what you want. Okay. But the energy is different and you'll feel it. Okay. You'll be like my client who, is in that space, but then things started showing up for her because she made the internal commitment, the internal decision that things got to look a little different. Okay. So, okay, this is a fun one. Okay. Because this is so many of you and so many of my friends and just like network and community is like everyone's so fed up with things that are happening in the world and just like so over it. It's like, what do I even do? Like, gosh, what do I do? Like, I got to get out of here. And while I don't believe that a physical move or a physical environment shift is like your end all be all, like it's not going to solve everything that's going on. Like, some things are going to follow you and you're going to need to work through them. But honestly, sometimes making a physical environment shift is what you need for your nervous system to like be able to settle and just like breathe and have space so that you can actually start doing that healing inner work. Like, I'm all for an environment shift. Like, absolutely. Shifting your environment, I believe, is one of the fastest ways that you will actually shift your internal environment and what's happening within you. And then that's where the magic happens. Because when you shift your internal environment, that's where everything on the physical starts showing up for you. Okay. So she says, we want to make a physical move, but our biggest hangup is our business. It's not one that we can really do from afar since it's maintenance and service work. Okay. So this is like a physical location based, business. So we can manage it and take extended trips, but there really isn't anyone that can take over or manage it here for us. Selling isn't an option because it's our livelihood. Okay. So everything that you are telling yourself is happening for you. So if we just go back and look at this, like, you're telling yourself that it can't happen. And so, yeah, it's not happening, of course, because what you believe literally is your reality. So if you want to believe that at the flip of a hat, you can make the move, you will, and you will just figure it out and everything will line up for you. Okay. If you want to believe that you can't do it, you can't find anyone, you can't sell it, it won't happen. It just won't. Absolutely. You're right. 100%. So in order for us to move from that space of I can't do it because, and like, I love you, but that's victim mentality. We are the creators of our reality. Okay. And so if you want that physical environment move and you want that shift, but your business is holding you back, babe, you got to shift your business because your life is your life. And that is the most important thing. Your business is not who you are. Okay. It's something you do in this world. Yeah, but it is not you. And so many people are living their lives based on a career, based on money, based on a business. We have it back asswards, and it's time to take our lives back. It's time to take our power back and live because we want to live, experience life. You know that saying, or like when people ask you like, oh, how do you earn a living? I fucking breathe. That's how I live, right? Like, we are so conditioned that our purpose is tied to the work that we are doing, like the service that we are doing, like how much money we're making. Like, we tie our purpose to our jobs, and that could not be more wrong. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you like one of the biggest gifts I could ever give you. And you're probably not going to feel it fully, but one day this is going to click for you. And one day you're going to feel this. And I want you to message me when this day comes and be like, oh my God, Marcy, I felt it. Okay. Like, please do that. I don't care if it's like 20 years down the road. Please message me and be like, Marcy, I felt that. Woo! It's going to hit you someday. And you're going to realize that your purpose is not the job you are doing. It's not the thing you're selling. It's not the course you're creating. It's not the business you're running. It's not your 9 to 5. Your purpose is literally to experience yourself. Okay? Let me say that again, and I want your soul to just receive that. Your purpose is to experience itself. How does that feel within you? Like even when I say that, like I get these little, like this calmness within me and these tingles. What do you feel when you experience that? Because your soul knows, and your soul is like, yeah, I'm experiencing myself right now. I'm in my purpose. But your mind and your programmed self is saying, no, I got to do something. I got to make money. I got to create something. I got to do this. I got to serve. I got to be the best mom. Like, I got to do all these things. And you're thinking that that's your purpose. It ain't. That's your program running. Okay. So what if I told you that you can do all those things? You can make the move. You can sell your business. You can be away from it and have someone else manage it. You can find the perfect person. You can scale your business so that your physicality isn't required there, even though you're a service-based business. And I know this because I study scaling businesses. Yeah. This is my jam. All right. You can do all those things. And then what if I told you that because you can, and because there are ways that you could sell your business for 10 times more, 20 times more down the road and set yourself up financially? Because there's nothing wrong with money. I love money. It's wonderful. It provides us so many things. Yeah. But what if you 10x, 20x what you could sell it for because you set it up not as just this location-based, service-based business, but you set it up as an independent location-based service business. And someone bought that idea because I'm rolling here because you patented this particular technology. Or there's so many things that are like so exciting that like you don't even know are possible for you because you're stuck in the 5%. You're stuck with like these blinders on. And like literally, there's so much available to you. And guess what? Maybe this isn't even the thing. Like maybe you just release that. Like this, I'm just like going with it here. Like maybe you just release that thing because it's holding you back and you just say, okay, God, show me what's next. And I know you have a family. I get it. I'm a single mother. Okay. And I'm pretty much a full-time parent all the time now. And I get what that's like. Okay. And I still moved to Mexico in a matter of 2 weeks. No clue what was happening, where I was living, like what was going to go on. Here I am 2.5 years later, living my dream life, renovating my, beautiful home. Literally, guys are outside right now. We're in the next step of the renovation. And like people ask me like, oh, how are you doing that? Like, how much money is that costing? Like, what does that look like? When you just go for it, everything happens for you. And I am living proof that that is possible for you too. Okay. So your safe programmed mind, okay, wants to keep you in this limited box. Okay. Because it's here to keep you safe. That's wonderful. And that's your primal self. You needed to stay safe at one point in your ancestral existence. Yeah. And that's what that part is. It's like keeping you in that space of safety. And maybe even in parallel lifetimes or past lifetimes, you've experienced deep trauma and wounding when you did show up and when you did try something new. I experienced that as a healer in a parallel lifetime. And it's so one of the things that I work on most is showing up and just being here and sharing my knowledge and my love and my vibration. And I'm not saying this is easy. This is hard for me too. It's hard to show up and just choose differently when you're programmed and conditioned in a certain way. And when you allow yourself to try something new, to take your power back, to seek support, to seek guidance from people who have gone and done what you want to do, that's where things can really start to unfold for you. So along that note, if you are staying where you are, if you're staying put because of criticisms of other people, because what other people think you should say and do, just know that is so in misalignment, because every single person who is living in that way is living for the falsity of someone else's false reality. Get me? Everyone who is living based on others' expectations, societal expectations and programs, others' ideas, even family, you're living in the falsity of someone else's false reality. And so where are you living? In complete falsehood, in the false self, the not self. Okay? And so I want to help you. I want to support you. I want to love you and guide you in your process of greatest expansion, of clear decision making, making those bold moves forward. And so I will open an opportunity for you if that feels all right. And if not, lovely as well. I hope this has been deeply supportive for you. I hope you took some golden nuggets from here and that this process has helped you to clearly define where you're holding yourself back in the quicksand and what areas specifically you can go in and start making some moves to progress. And if you do want to work into faster timelines, because that's what I'm really all about, is like, I don't want to help you do this in 5 to 10 years, right? Like that's living in the resistance. Why not do it now? Like I'm talking within the next year or two. Yeah. I want to help you quantum shift. I want to help you harness what's already happening for you in your parallel lifetime, because that's why you want this. It's already occurring for you. That's why you have the ideas channeled and dropped in. And then what we're going to do when we work together is drop that into the now. So we're literally manifesting. That's what manifesting is. Taking the quantum, taking all that is, okay, and manifesting it, bringing it into the 3D physical form. And that's what we are as humans. So it's a perfect example, right? So you are mostly energy, mostly electric beings, okay? And then you're manifested down into a 2% physical form. So that's what we're going to do in the Soul Mastery and Business Accelerator, okay? I do believe that creating freedom-based businesses, location-independent businesses that are scalable is your access, is your gateway right now where you're at in your lifetime, because almost every single one of you who are on this call are held back by money. And businesses are a beautiful way that we can support that need in this lifetime, right here, right now, to have financial, security. That's something. Yes, I'm not going to deny that. It is something that we need. And also, it needs to work around our life, needs to work into our life, not the other way around. Because I'm here to tell you and show you just how freaking good life can get for you when you choose it and when you allow it. Okay? I love you. I hope this has been deeply supportive for you. If you want to learn more about Soul MBA, please message me directly and I can share more, and we'll do a little one-on-one chat about whether or not it's right for you, because I'll be very upfront and honest with my energy and who I'm bringing into that space and that like really fierce energetic container of making big life moves. Okay. Because it's not for everyone. All right. And that's okay too. All right. I love you. Blessings.